Hello, Claymont educators. As we watch this school year wind down and we enter into the fourth 9 weeks, I think this is an outstanding time for reflection on what we did well and what we can improve upon for the following school year. We do have those long summer months that we can make great use of our time and prepare to better serve our students in the coming years. As many of you are aware, I've had the privilege this year of attending many conferences, both to present and to learn. Also, I've enrolled in my master's program, and this has provided me with so much knowledge about technology and its place in the classroom. To begin with, I think we really need to take a look at Web 2.0 tools, what they are and how they fit into our classroom practices. The picture that I have on the background of this movie really helps to serve as a visual aid to defining Web 2.0 tools. Web 1.0 was the first generation of the internet, and it allowed everyone to search and read, but without any ability to contribute, unless, of course, you knew how to write HTML codes, something I know very little about. In any case, Web 2.0 tools enable us to contribute to the web, and it basically allows us to leave our thumbprint on the world by posting our ideas, our opinions, our thoughts to the internet, where we can actively engage in collaboration with others. Here in Claymont City School District, we as educators are truly blessed to have administrators above us who support us in the classroom and provide us with so many technological amenities that we would really be remiss in our role if we weren't using these tools to the best of their abilities every day. As I reflect back upon my own K-12 education, I remember my teachers taking us down to the one computer lab in the school for lessons maybe once a week, maybe sometimes even as drawn out as once a month. And it really wasn't something that was integrated in our daily lessons and learning, but rather it just served as a side supplemental tool, and it really wasn't used in a way that we're seeing the paradigm shift currently. Okay, so why push for these Web 2.0 tools to be used with our students in the classroom on a daily basis? Well, our kids walk hand in hand with Twitter, Facebook, and Wikipedia every day. After school, sometimes sneaking it in during school. This is the world that they live in, and as digital natives, it is the only world they've ever known. It is how they function, it's how they learn, it's how they communicate. And if that's what they do in their lives outside of class, doesn't it make sense that they be able to use those same tools to enhance their learning in a classroom environment? As educators in the 21st century classroom, we need to develop a constructivist approach to our teaching and instruction. Kids are going to learn based on their prior knowledge and experiences. So we have to find a way to make learning truly relevant in their lives. Teachers are using project-based learning and far more authentic learning than was ever used when I was back in school. I remember always wanting to ask, what will I ever need this for? How am I going to use this in my life? And the goal now in education is to almost eliminate that question. Kids shouldn't be asking, when will I ever use this? They should be seeing the application of the acquisition of their knowledge into their lives. It should fit. Their lives and their schooling should be integrated. And that's where this constructivist approach comes in. Even though I've defined Web 2.0 tools for you, I haven't really given you any examples of these tools yet, nor have I explained their full potential to enhance our instruction and communication with students. If you look at the picture and the icons displayed in it, some may be familiar to you while many others are not. You can see the thumbs up icon depicting liking something that's been posted to Facebook. You can also see several little blue birds standing or representing Twitter. The @ sign is also linked to Twitter and various other tools where you can tag someone in your dialogue on the internet. There are also a few other links that show the ability to link in or connect contacts from email to Facebook to Google Circles and a variety of other things, or linking a hyperlink to a post that you've made to share a web page with others. All right, now to fully sell you on implementing the use of Web 2.0 tools in your classroom, I'd like to share with you what I've been working on in my class over the past 3 or 4 weeks. After finishing up the novel Daniel's Story, a story about a young man and his survival of the Holocaust, the students were assigned a project, a multimedia project, in which they had to capture the essence of the many, many pictures described throughout the story. The boy reflects upon his memories of the Holocaust by vividly describing pictures, many of which he actually took, and then others that he'd wished he'd had his camera before he goes into these descriptions of the pictures. In any case, we encourage the students to bring in any of their devices that they wanted to use, and we provided them with ample supplies as well. But they had to thoughtfully plan and then execute on this project. They were encouraged to use any means that they felt comfortable with, but we recommended Instagram, using Prezi, VoiceThread, YouTube. The requirement mandated that they must submit their project via a web link to their project. So it had to go out on the web. What's really cool is that's opened the door to the entire public, the entire world being able to see what they've accomplished. This isn't like some book report that they wrote and turned in simply to me for a grade. And a lot of times my feedback, unfortunately, it doesn't mean as much to them as I wish it did. However, when their work is being displayed for our superintendent to see and the principal of the building to see and all of their peers to see, I think it really stepped up the expectation for many of them. And they rose to the occasion. They upped the standard on their projects. Now, what was really cool too, in addition to their utilization of technology in putting together this project, another requirement of the end result was that they post the link in Moodle in a forum, and then every student was required to observe, go ahead and view the projects of others, and they were required to comment on them. I encouraged constructive criticism and certainly positive feedback. And I have to say, I learned so much more about my students upon completion of this, and it opened up such an amazing dialogue where the students were complimenting one another, learning from one another, asking questions that garnished insightful answers, fascinating things where students would ask of other students, what tool did you use? Did you use a photo editing app to adjust this or to make it look like as though it was from another time period? It was so enriching for me to see how much they were bouncing ideas off one another and learning from each other. So I'm going to go ahead and share some of this with you. Every teacher in the Claymont City School District has a Moodle page. That said, if you would all take the time to visit Claymont Junior High's Moodle page and go ahead and click on my webpage. It's entitled Mrs. Wallach's Virtual Book Club. Once there, you'll scroll all the way down to the historical fiction section, and you'll click on the forum titled Daniel's Story Photo Album Final Project. In this forum are the links to all of the students' projects as well as all of their comments on one another's work. While I do want to encourage everyone to go ahead and visit the website and see for yourself the cross-section of student projects, I do want to provide you with a few examples right here, right now. One student posted on another group's work, "Your project is really cool. What did you find most interesting about this project?" And one of the group members came back and said, "What I found most interesting was probably when we finished reading the book, we were all just in shock. It would have been terrifying to have gone through that. When we were taking the pictures in the camps, we understood that it would have been very hard labor and that wearing the striped pajamas wasn't something you wanted to wear." Another bit of feedback for this same group of ladies came from a young man in the class who wrote, "Very well done, girls. Your project is one of the most creative. I really like the virtual enhancements you added to improve the picture. It was cool how you duplicated the one picture of the marching Jews as well as adding the fence and broken glass. Really cool. Also, I'm impressed from your creative props. Finally, I found it unique how you four were basically all the actresses, but with a different wardrobe. Overall, your project specifically was creative, original, and overall fantastic." Now, the previous example was an excellent project, and most of the students' comments were of a very positive nature. However, another group's work, they struggled a bit, and these were some of the comments made by their peers. "I liked the use of Prezi, but I thought the presentation was a little bland. Maybe add an introduction and conclusion to pull the reader in, and so it doesn't just end abruptly." And one of the students from the group thanked the gentleman for the tip. Someone else said, "I'm not sure what to say. I thought a lot of your pictures were very thought out and well taken, but I also thought there were maybe too many pictures that were off the internet, like the one of the Aryan family. I think that you could have made that. And I think the one of Daniel's mother you could have made too. Overall, I think you guys did a really good job on your project." Now you'll notice that in addition to the criticism, there was also positive feedback. This makes for really authentic learning. This same group was getting lots of pointers on using spell check, as they had a number of grammatical and spelling errors throughout their project. And I think they've taken the tips to heart because they came from their peers, not just their grumpy old teacher. At the conclusion of this video, I'll go ahead and post the links to all the student work. It was published on the internet by each of them, so I really do encourage you to visit the various projects produced by the students. You'll see some major discrepancies in their work, where some went above and beyond, and others really struggled with this type of a project. And I think part of what that highlights is the great divide in the students' technological capabilities. For all the more reason that we really need to be bringing our classrooms up to speed with 21st century skills. As far as recommendations for what you can do to turn your classroom into a more blended learning environment to better suit the needs of your 21st century learners, my first bit of advice would be to start small and focus on your own abilities and knowledge of Web 2.0 tools and the benefits that can be derived from their usage. And whether that means you start blogging, using wikis, that you sign up for a Facebook account or a Twitter account. There are so many different possibilities for you that I encourage you to gain some familiarity. Then pick one thing that you can use in your classroom and start there. Perhaps creating a blog space. And once you are comfortable with the technology, you'll be so much more comfortable to start using it with your students. Don't try to just transform everything overnight and throw away all the textbooks. It's going to be impossible. You're going to want to slowly integrate this into your practice, and as you see the benefits derived, it will encourage you to use this more and more. Whenever possible, seek professional development, attend seminars, especially those geared at tech training, And don't be afraid to seek the help of others who are successfully using technology and Web 2.0 tools in their classroom. Perhaps my best bit of advice would be, why don't you sign up for a Twitter account and then start following other educators and steal their ideas and learn from them. And as you see what a collaborative tool it is and how beneficial it is to your own learning in your field, I think you'll be able to see how it's an excellent, outstanding tool for our students to be using. Good luck with you in your endeavors, and always feel free to contact me if there's anything that I can help you with. Have a great rest of the school year, Claymont Junior High.